Remember that time that Amazon decided to take the Lord of the Rings and make it better, and everyone just loved it? Yeah, me neither. Every time you get these things happening where you have these people in Hollywood who decide that something that's been around and beloved for years needs to be changed because reasons. That's really the best thing. Reasons. Some idiots on Twitter scream about something and they figure, yeah, let's do that. Let's change everything and make it as god-awful as possible. Let's not forget about this. Let's completely ignore the story, the law, the literal thing that grip people. No, let's decide to just piss all over it and tell everybody here, eat this. That's good enough for you. How did that work out for Doctor Who again in this latest season? Oh yeah, lowest ratings in 60 years. Could that have something to do with the fact that they're all idiots? Maybe. Maybe it does, but that's what's going on. I'm not the only one saying it. People are noticing it. And one person is George R.R. Martin, who still has not written his last book in the Game of Thrones series. Way to go, George. Let's get into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin once again slams Hollywood's habit of disrespecting source materials. They never make it better. No, they don't. No, they don't. In taking time away from not writing The Winds of Winter, it's been years. People are waiting. I mean, I'm not trying to rush you or anything, but come on. People want to know how the book ends. So hopefully they could do a proper adaptation of it. Come on, George. We really need to read that book. Let's go on. To offer his thoughts on the current entertainment landscape, Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin has once again voiced his frustration with Hollywood's habit of running roughshod over any original work they choose to adapt for the small or big screens. Yep, that's what they do. Recalling his previous criticism of Hollywood's disrespectful attitude in a May 24th post made to his personal blog, Martin lamented, "Very little has changed since then. If anything, things have gotten worse." That's for sure. Everywhere you look, there are more screenwriters and producers eager to take great stories and make them their own. That's the problem. That is the problem. They see something there. It's perfectly good. People have loved it for years. No, I could make it better because that's the only reason, That's the only reason they could make it better because. Not because it's good. They just could make it better because. God in heaven. It does not seem to matter whether the source material was written by Stan Lee, Charles Dickens, Ian Fleming, Roald Dahl, Ursula K. Le Guin, J.R.R. Tolkien, Mark Twain, Raymond Chandler, Jane Austen, or anyone. No matter how major a writer it is, no matter how great the book, there always seems to be someone on hand who thinks he can do better. He got to make the story. You got to take the story and improve on it. And I always come back to what Disney did with the Little Mermaid, where they decided to swap the Little Mermaid and spend their entire marketing budget calling everybody racist for not loving it. Well, recently somebody said to me, "Oh, well, what happened the time when Brandy was Cinderella?" Nobody had a problem with that. Okay, fair point. Allow me to address that. The reason nobody had a problem with the time Brandy portrayed Cinderella in that little movie that they did is because nobody took it seriously. It was meant to be a parody. That was the whole point of it. It was meant to be a parody. You could see that from the very makeup of it. I mean, come on. Brandy was Cinderella. She was black. The prince was Asian. The prince's parents, his father was white. His mother was black. I mean, come on. It was clearly meant to be a parody. People looked at it, they had a little laugh, they know that and they moved on. That's not what happened with the Little Mermaid. They literally came out and basically told you, this is the new Little Mermaid. You have to associate this as the Little Mermaid now. Everything that ever happened with Ariel before, forget all of that because that's wrong. This new thing that we're doing here, this is correct. You need to love this, and this is what people had a problem with. It's the same thing like when Rachel Zegler came on and wanted to talk and say about Snow White and talking about how the prince literally stalked her. Weird. Because you're basically saying everything that was done before, everything that made Disney billions, that made it the family of people love, all that is wrong. Let's change it now. Look, for instance, at I spoke about in the beginning, Amazon's Lord of the Rings. People who went and watched the trilogy movies, the three trilogy movies, the first one, the second one, third one. Actually, to be honest, I have never been able to finish watching Two Towers. It was something that's always interrupt me from watching it. But as far as I am aware, I could be wrong. As far as I'm aware, there were no black people in there. The place where it was set, the story for it, that was it. Nobody went to cinema or anybody else along and said, why aren't there any black people here? What is this? This is racist. Nobody said that. People watched it, enjoyed themselves, and moved on with their lives. But no, you come now to say, listen, we need to put in black elves, black dwarfs, we got black female dwarfs, even though they say that female dwarfs have beards and stuff. No, that's nothing. Take Galadriel, who was a well-written, beautiful, intelligent character, and turn her into Gaiadriel, some kind of girl boss, guy boss, whatever kind of hybrid shit it was that people absolutely rejected. And let's not forget that the entire movie itself was so freaking boring that I actually said in the beginning, it was so boring, I almost fell asleep, and then an executive came out and admitted he fell asleep partway through it at all. But no, you're improving on it, right? Yeah, sure, idiots. Keep telling yourself that. George R.R. Martin continues on, the book is the book, the film is the film. They will tell you as if they were saying something profound. Then they make the story their own. They never make it better though. 999 times out of 1,000, they make it worse. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There is an established story written by somebody. No, you want to change it. I remember about 2 years ago or something. So I was having this discussion with this young lady who was basically telling me that I was racist, what I was saying, and that I should love the fact that they keep race swapping characters and all that kind of thing, and all this inclusion and all of that. And I said to her, okay, she told me that she does she writes these screenplays, and I said, okay, no problem. I said, well, okay, if you created a character, a series, an entire book of something, and they came to you and said, listen, we want to make your book into a series, and you're like, okay, no problem. And let's say your main character is a black girl with dreadlocks, and let's say something like she has like 2 different color eyes or something, and that's kind of like her defining thing about her and all that, and all of this, okay. And they come to you and say, listen, we want to take this book that you've written and make it into a series, but we want to change the character from black to white and make her a transgender woman, and the story should focus more on, her struggles with that. Would you be okay with that? And she said to me, no, that's not the story that I wrote. I said, so then why should they do that to other people's work? Still waiting for an answer till this day. Haven't gotten one. Still waiting. This is what I'm talking about. When it's something you want, you have a problem with people messing with it, but no. They must mess with these works of art however they want and just tell you, listen, it's for diversity and inclusion, and because we say we could make it better, and you must just say, okay, no problem, go ahead. Speaking to his last point, Martin then noted that once in a while, though, we do get a really good adaptation of a really good book, and when that happens, it deserves applause. Yes, it does. It happens. When they follow the source material, then they may have to make slight little changes here and there in order for it to work in either the small screen or big screen. Yes, but when you follow the source material, when you make it fun and engaging, people are happy to engage with it and enjoy the work. There is a reason people like these things. Like I keep saying, there's a reason people like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, the X-Men, the Avengers, all these things, because there is an established story for them. And if you follow that, it can work. But you don't want to do that because you figure you know better just because. But when you see, you follow it and there's a good adaptation, it actually turns out really good. It really does. But do they want to listen to that? No. Moving to reveal the apparent reason for his blog post, the author then asserted, I came across one of those instances recently when I binged the new FX version of Shogun. Yes, I did. Fantastic show. Watched every episode of Shogun. Loved it. Thought it was engaging. The story was captivating. You moved along with it. The characters were interesting. The world building. All of these things. All of it. That's what made it fun. He goes on, the fascinating thing is that while the old and new versions have some significant differences, the subtitles that make the Japanese dialogue intelligible to the English-speaking viewers being the biggest, they are both faithful to the Clavel novel in their own way. Matters of the series, I think the author would have been pleased. Both old and new screenwriters did honor to the source material and gave us terrific adaptations, resisting the impulse to make it their own. Yes, when you stick to what works and you say to yourself, listen, I'm going to focus on making something good. You understand me? Good. Not just, I'm going to do this to hope, well, that's going to work out somehow. No, you make something good. People will like it. Shogun was well done. It was crafted in a way that was beautifully captivating. People enjoyed it. It stuck to the source material. Yes, there were some changes here and there, but it was mostly adapted in the best way possible. Same thing like I was saying, you do these things, when you make something that's good, people will enjoy it. That's all you have to do. As noted above, this is not the first time the slow-working author has taken issue with Hollywood's self-aggrandizing approach to adapting other creators' stories. Speaking to the topic during a 2022 speaking engagement held in promotion of his then upcoming Rise of the Dragon and Illustrated History of the Targaryen Dynasty, Volume 1 reference book, Martin asserted how faithful do you have to be. Some people don't feel that they have to be faithful at all, and that's a big problem. Then there's this phrase that goes around, I'm going to make it my own. I hate that phrase, and I think Neil Gaiman probably hates that phrase too, because you see the whole phrase, I'm going to make it my own, and so they can see themselves some of the worst lies of the destroyed entertainment. Goes on here with Neil Gaiman talking about Sandman and how it's never been done and how you have to do this and all of this thing and the other. Okay, however, recognizing that certain changes are sometimes necessary to help translate a story to a completely different medium. Martin did offer the clarification that sometimes there are changes that you have to make or that you're called upon to make that I think are legitimate, and there are other ones that are not legitimate. Yeah, And it boils down to what I've been saying. Do it correctly, no problem. Screw around with it, or as the saying goes, F around and find out, and people are going to be pissed and walk away. People do not want you taking what has been established, what they love, and then deciding that you could make it better, and then lecturing them that they need to love it or else. It's not working. People are on to your crap and they're tired of it. And if you honestly believe you can continue to get away with that, you have a very rude awakening coming for you very soon, Hollywood. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.